Hello. If you've just landed here, welcome. This is Pirate Radio.
This is The Brief on the Antisocial Broadcast pirate radio station. So, imagine a radio station run entirely by AI, but with a human director calling the shots. We're diving into a live experiment called Guilty Until Proven Viral, to see if this kind of art can even survive online, or if today's algorithms just write off anything AI made as spam. First, you've got the antisocial concept. Pirate Radio Station is this long-form project orchestrated by a guy they call Captain Bob. He uses what he calls vibe coding to direct AI to make the music, the scripts, you name it. The whole point is to create an ambient broadcast that deliberately ignores the frantic chase for clicks and short-term engagement. Second, there's a major policy clash here. This station is bumping right up against YouTube's 2025 inauthentic content rules. And it's testing a huge question. Does the algorithm automatically treat transparent AI content as low-effort garbage, what everyone calls slop? Or can high-quality, human-directed AI actually find an audience? And finally, let's talk about the hypothesis itself. Now, this isn't a complaint or a conspiracy theory, it's a data-driven investigation. The idea is that AI channels might be guilty until proven viral. Basically, they're penalized by default until some random viral moment forces the system to finally see them as legitimate. It's a digital experiment asking a really human question. In an age of algorithms, does the vibe still matter at all?
Well, hello. This is my real voice. However, I am using an avatar of myself, partly because it's convenient. I do not have a good setup here for camera lighting, and to be quite honest, my avatar is far better looking than I am in real life. So that's the reason. Also, I intend to retain my anonymity, at least for the time being, but I'm using my real voice because I want this to be authentic in every way. And I'm going to introduce you a little bit to the pirate radio station, the reason for its existence, and a little bit about myself. And I have no script, so there'll be lots of embarrassing pauses and ums and ahs. I'm sorry about that. I may edit some of it out, but as I say, I wish for this to sound authentic, because it is authentic.
So, is YouTube secretly suppressing AI content? Well, a creator known as Captain Bob launched Pirate Radio Station as a live experiment, to test if the algorithm actually hates AI or just enforces the usual engagement rules. First, the algorithm really seems to prioritize engagement, not whether a human made the video. In fact, some research shows that a huge chunk of videos shown to new users, over 20%, is actually what you might call AI slop. The real hurdle for any new channel is what's called the cold start problem. The system simply needs about 8 to 10 meaningful interactions to learn who to serve your content to. If AI content gets clicks and keeps people watching, it spreads. Second, there's a really hard line between what YouTube calls inauthentic content and deceptive practices. See, using AI isn't the violation, mass producing it is. Channels get demonetized for churning out repetitive templates, but they get terminated for deceptive stuff, like deepfakes. Pirate radio is transparent, so it avoids a ban, but its automated nature still puts it at risk for demonetization. And finally, those low view counts, that's likely just a math problem, not some big conspiracy. The creator himself admits his format, these long 30 to 90-minute ambient broadcasts, just doesn't have the quick retention hooks the algorithm craves. Low impressions usually just come down to your click-through rate and watch time, regardless of who or what made the video. So ultimately, this experiment seems to prove that YouTube doesn't really care if you're human, it just cares if you're watchable.
7, 10 revivals. 17. 17. So for today's deep dive, we're looking at a really fascinating YouTube channel. It's called Pirate Radio Station.
It's a bit of an anomaly, for sure.
Yeah, it's run by a creator. He calls himself Captain Bob. And everything on it is fully AI generated. The music, the scripts, even the DJ voice for what he calls his antisocial broadcasts.
And he's totally open about it, which is key. He discloses everything.
Yeah.
But his views are, well, almost zero.
Which makes it a perfect case study, right?
Exactly. The question isn't really about quality. Is the algorithm actively suppressing his content just because it's synthetic?
That's the big theory, isn't it? The whole shadow ban on AI content. But when you actually look at the YouTube policy, specifically that big update from July 2025, it's not really written down anywhere.
Policy-wise, no. Not at all. YouTube drew a very clear line in the sand last July. They're not banning AI. What they're banning is something they call inauthentic content.
Then that's a very specific term in their guidelines.
It is. It's targeting mass-produced, repetitive material, what everyone started calling AI slop.
Like those channels that just churn out 50 identical top 10 videos a day.
Exactly that. That falls under deceptive practice and can get you terminated.
Okay, but pirate radio isn't spam, it's long-form ambient music. And Captain Bob, he uses the disclosure toggle, he's being compliant. So,
Yes.
Why does the recommendation engine seem to be ignoring him?
And this is where we have to separate policy from mechanics. Because even if the rules say you're safe, the math of the platform might still be working against you.
Which brings us to the cold start problem.
Right, it's a classic issue in recommender systems.
It's basically the challenge of recommending something new when you have zero user data for it, right?
Precisely. When a new video is uploaded, the engine is blind. It relies on finding users who like similar things to predict who's going to like this new thing. But for a brand new channel, there is no similar.
So it has no starting point.
None. And the data shows new items get about 43% fewer impressions in their first 24 hours, just because the system is hesitant to risk it on an unknown.
It's a volatility penalty. You'd rather serve something it knows works than risk a bad user experience.
Right. And the algorithm needs a sample set. We're talking maybe 8 to 10 meaningful interactions. Clicks, high retention views, something like that.
Just to build a basic profile of who the video is for.
Yes, a mathematical vector. And if you don't get those 10 people pretty fast, the system just stops testing. Your video kind of falls into the void.
And pirate radio has a compounding problem here because it's not just new.
It's faceless.
Which is a huge handicap.
Massive. The stats show that faceless channels need, on average, something like 39% more uploads to hit monetization compared to channels with a personality on screen.
I guess we're just wired to look for eyes, for human faces.
We are. And when you take that away, you have to work much harder to build that trust.
There's also the format to consider. Pirate radio is doing these 90-minute ambient jazz broadcasts, but YouTube's discovery engine, it prioritizes high click-through rates and joy sentiment.
And that's the real killer here. Ambient content is low engagement by design. You're meant to put it on in the background and ignore it.
You're not smashing the like button or leaving comments.
Exactly. So the algorithm might see a user ignoring the screen and interpret that as boredom, not, relaxation.
So it's not some grand conspiracy. It's more that the metrics YouTube uses for success, active engagement, emotional reaction are just totally at odds with what an ambient AI channel provides.
Precisely. And then there's the detection layer we have to talk about. YouTube's using C2PA standards now.
Remind us what C2PA is again?
It's the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. It's basically a way to embed a tamper-proof digital receipt inside a file that proves how it was made.
And YouTube systems, probably using Gemini, can read this metadata.
Oh yeah. They know, down to the pixel, that this is AI. So even if they say they don't explicitly bias against it, the system naturally creates a kind of hierarchy where human value gets prioritized.
I see. So if you look at the AI channels that are successful,
They're usually in high RPM niches, like finance or tech, where advertiser money is high. Or they just brute force the problem with a huge volume of shorts. Pirate radio is trying to make art in a system that's really built for dopamine hits.
So the takeaway is that this suppression is really just extreme friction. It's not a ban, it's a bottleneck.
I think that's a good way to put it.
But this does raise a really interesting question about the future. I mean, if the detection tools are getting this good, how do creators even survive?
It's pretty ironic, actually. The sources we looked at suggest that as AI becomes perfectly smooth, perfectly predictable, imperfection is becoming a really valuable SEO metric.
Wait, what? Human error is the new premium feature.
In a way, yeah. Algorithms can analyze text for things like perplexity and burstiness, which is basically just how chaotic and weird the human syntax is. Our stumbles, our strange phrasing. That's the one thing the machine can't really replicate yet.
So being messy is now proof of life.
It could be the ultimate competitive advantage, yeah.
That is a wild thought. From polish is king to chaos is authentic.
It definitely changes the game.
Something to think about. If you were an algorithm, how would you measure soul?
We'll see you in the next deep dive.
The stars are weeping silver tears tonight. Moon's a preacher in a robe of white. I'm a sinner. No shoes.
So the reason for the pirate radio station, okay. 6 months ago, it occurred to me for the first time that I could become a YouTuber, and I could use YouTube as a kind of a marketing tool for a platform that I've been effectively building for the last 10 years. Although that's a bit misleading, because the platform has evolved in my mind over 10 years, and I've been building certain parts of the platform as the overall concept has evolved, and I'm going to get into that in some detail later on. But just to get the ball rolling, the purpose of the YouTube channel is to test out the theory of using YouTube as a means for marketing the platform that is behind the YouTube pirate radio station's existence. Okay.
I'm just a drifter. I'm just a drifter. I'm just a drifter. The sun slips low, the shadows climb, the world feels heavy, out of time. But a whisper floats, soft and clear, you're not alone, I'm always near. A light in the quiet, a flame in the dark, a hand to hold when the world falls apart. In every silence, in every prayer, a light in the quiet, I'm always there. Hums low, the trees stand still, the stars awake beyond the hill, and in the calm a voice takes flight. You'll find your way, just trust the night. Even when the road feels cold, my faith runs thin. A light in the quiet, a flame in the dark, a hand to hold when the world falls apart. In every silence and every prayer, a light in the quiet. I'm always there. A light in the quiet, a flame in the dark, a hand to hold when the world falls apart. In every silence, in every prayer, a light in the quiet. I'm always there.
Would you like another piece of chicken, dear?
Yes, please.
Look at the gingerbread house!
It's beautiful. Should we get one? Ooh, ooh. Thwack.
Welcome to The Debate. Today we're dissecting a live experiment from the trenches of the creator economy. It's called Pirate Radio Station, a YouTube channel run by a creator named Captain Bob. Now, this channel is brand new, fully AI generated. I mean, everything from the scripts to the jazz music. And he's completely transparent about it. But here's the kicker. The channel is basically a ghost town. So Bob wants to know, is the system rigged against AI content, or is this just the lonely, reality of starting from zero?
It's the question on everyone's mind. And honestly, looking at his analytics, I think we're seeing a pretty clear case of systemic suppression. The platform's immune system is, in a sense, attacking what it sees as AI slop. And I think experimental art projects like this one are just getting caught in the crossfire.
Right, and I can definitely see why you think that, but I'm looking more at the math here, not, malice from the system. For me, I believe what we're witnessing is a classic cold star problem. It's not a penalty, it's simply a data deficit.
But the rules of the game changed last July.
Hold on, let me just explain the mechanic first. Recommender systems, and Zelani's research is really the gold standard here. They need about 8 to 10 meaningful interactions before they can properly map a video to a viewer. Pirate Radio Station is uploading these 90-minute ambient broadcasts to a completely fresh channel. The algorithm is, it's flying blind. It's not burying the content, it just doesn't know who on earth wants to watch it yet.
I mean, that was true maybe 2 years ago. But you seem to be ignoring the inauthentic content policy updates. The landscape has totally shifted. We have data showing that faceless channels now need roughly 39% more uploads to hit monetization thresholds than human-led ones do. It's an authenticity tax. The system is designed to flag mass-produced content. When it sees a new channel just pumping out generated media without a human face, it doesn't wait for data. It throttles it.
But YouTube's policy explicitly permits AI if, and this is the key, if it offers original value. Captain Bob isn't making spam. He's doing what he calls vibe coding. He has these very specific segments like the job envy node, which is this surreal AI-generated commentary on corporate life. That is creative work. That's commentary.
And you think the algorithm understands irony?
I think it understands retention.
See, I disagree. YouTube has integrated Gemini into its detection layer to spot patterns, not vibes. Human writing has what researchers call burstiness. It's chaotic, it's variable, unpredictable. AI text is statistically smooth. So if Captain Bob's script for his job envy node lacks that human chaos, Gemini flags it as synthetic. It doesn't matter if it's art. To the classifier, it just looks like a content farm.
That's a compelling point, but I think you're ignoring the format itself. These are antisocial broadcasts. They're slow, moody, ambient. The Okika study on engagement showed that algorithms prioritize positive emotion and, high arousal. Bob is serving up low arousal jazz. That is a retention nightmare for an algorithm that's obsessed with dopamine hits. You can't just blame the slop filter when the content itself is basically designed to be background noise.
I guess I come at it from a different angle. Look at the watermarking. If Bob is using tools that leave C2PA metadata, which is essentially a digital fingerprint that screams AI made this, and his engagement is already low, that's a double trap. The system sees the fingerprint, it sees the lack of human connection, and it just categorizes it as low-quality automation. He's guilty until proven viral.
I'm not totally convinced by that guilt framing. We know faceless tech channels can still command huge CPMs. We're talking up to $40. The model can work if the quality is there.
Yeah, if the volume is there to brute force its way through the filter, maybe. But for a new creator, that freshness boost that new videos get, it decays in 72 hours. Without a human face to hook Gen Z viewers instantly, that AI tag just acts like a lead weight.
I would frame it differently. I think Pirate Radio Station is experiencing normal, albeit brutal, early-stage friction. You are feeding complex, long-form data to a system that craves short, punchy signals. It just needs more interaction data, not a policy exemption.
And I would conclude that while he isn't being shadow banned exactly, he is fighting an uphill battle against filters that are designed to crush mass production. The lack of human burstiness and the presence of those digital fingerprints put him at a clear systemic disadvantage.
A fascinating case study either way. Thanks for listening to The Debate.
The original concept I had for the platform was actually a What's On guide. 10 years ago, more or less, it occurred to me that if it were possible to have a global What's On guide, meaning doesn't matter where you are in the world, the platform would be able to inform you of the vibe of wherever you are and what's going on around you, essentially, based on its knowledge of what you're interested in. And obviously you would share as much information with the platform as you feel comfortable with. And that would be really cool. But of course, how would you do that? So the concept in the back of my mind was, well, you'd have to crowdsource the information. And that way, you could make a scalable platform that could be global in reach. Now, of course, there was machine learning back then. Even back then, it was a thing. Google was already exploring machine learning, especially with, funnily enough, the job market. I say funnily enough, you'll come to realize why I say that, but it's very much directly related to my platform. So the idea was born from a What's On guide, creating a platform that could somehow crowdsource all of the information. And from there, I developed the concept of UTP, which was a deliberate play on the HTTP protocol, the FTP protocol, basically UTP meaning an acronym for user, time and place, or in other words, who, where and when. And the idea behind that was that it would be a coordinate in a vector space, in a three-dimensional space, rather than a link, a URL to a specific document on some server somewhere. This would be, a UTP would actually be a coordinate, just kind of like a map coordinate, but in three-dimensional space. And that's now become recognizable as a vector database. Even back then, actually, there wasn't really such a thing as a vector database. So that's evolved as well, alongside my thinking on this platform. So rather than ramble on much more, to cut a long story short, the original concept of Global What's On Guide evolved into a platform that would use artificial intelligence and specifically vector databases in order to effectively crowdsource trillions of UTPs, these little packets of information that would be, for example, somebody's experience on a night out in Barcelona. Say they're on holiday and they happen to come across a taverna with some live music that was particularly impressive, and the food, and so they record a UTP, a user, time and place, a who, where and when, about this particular occasion. And that would be one example of a UTP, and the relevance to a global What's On guide should start to become a bit more obvious now. So that's a lot of rambling on from me, but the platform evolved over a 10-year period, and the concept has evolved to encompass much more than a What's On guide. And I call this platform the Envy Net, and it's comprised of nodes that are specific to certain domains in life. And a good example of that would be the Job Envy node, which is intended to aid job seekers in finding work, and also vice versa, help employers find employees. A new way of doing this entirely based on the UTP principle. And there are other nodes, including Home Envy, and obviously the Home Envy, well, maybe not obviously, but I'll explain. Home Envy is the same concept, but to help people find places to live, accommodation, property to purchase and sell. And then, of course, you could extend this on, and I have done in concept at least, to Love Envy, which would be very familiar as a kind of a relationship, dating kind of platform or node. And then there's the Vibe Envy node, which is actually the What's On guide. That's the original concept right there. So for now, I think we'll leave it right there.
Chains of the past, they rattle and moan, but I'm breaking strong. Ooh, my will. Swamp of my soul is pulling me under. Ooh, pulling me. Thunder rolls, but I pray for the wonder. Ooh, pray now. I keep pushing, keep holding tight through the dark. I'm chasing the light. On autumn waves, like a ghost in the trees. Oh, well now, well now. Ain't no surrender. I'm begging, Lord, please. I've been down low, but I've learned to stand. Rising up now. With my heart in my hand.
He who hesitates is lost, but fortune favors the brave.
envious? Yeah, man, it's hot in this monkey suit.
The Antisocial Broadcast, where even silence finds its song.
Those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music.
Okay, so let's dive in. We get a lot of requests, for these deep dives.
Oh, the inbox is always full.
It's always full. Usually it's, a new research paper, maybe a complex geopolitical shift or something.
Our bread and butter.
Exactly. That's what we love to do. But today is different.
Yeah, this one stood out. We've basically been handed a dossier.
A dossier, that's the perfect word for it. And it's not someone asking for, a casual review or a shout-out.
Oh, no. This is a request for a forensic audit.
A forensic audit from a creator who calls himself Captain Bob. He wants us to put his YouTube channel, Pirate Radio Station, or PRS, under the microscope.
And he was really specific, which I appreciate. He's not asking, do you like my art? Or is the music good?
No, not at all. He wants a full-blown, evidence-based platform audit, a media systems review. He wants us to pop the hood.
Right. And looking at all the materials he sent over, we have transcripts, technical specs from Google Cloud, notes from A16s, even YouTube policy docs from last year. This is more than just a channel review.
It really is. It feels like a systems stress test.
That's exactly. He's asking us to take this very unique, very specific type of content and see how the YouTube algorithm, as it exists in 2026, actually reacts to it.
And here is the core of it. The reason this is such a fascinating test case.
The kicker, yeah.
The channel, Pirate Radio Station, is 100% AI generated.
Everything. The music, the visuals, the scripts, the voices, all of it.
He calls it an antisocial broadcast. And the question he's really asking is the one that I think every creator using these new tools is, whispering about.
The big question.
Is the system rigged against me?
Or, to put it a little more, clinically.
Go on.
Is Pirate Radio Station facing actual systemic suppression because it's AI? Or is its performance just the logical mathematical result of its format in this environment?
Is it malice or is it math? That's what we're here to figure out.
Exactly.
So here's the plan for this deep dive. We are going to treat this like a real consultancy project. We'll start with the channel's identity, this whole vibe coding philosophy he talks about. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the 2026 algorithm mechanics.
And the policy landscape, which is crucial.
So we can figure out if Captain Bob is a victim of some kind of bias, or if he's just, trying to do something the system was never designed to support.
And we have to be super clear here. Our personal opinions on AI art are, they're irrelevant.
Totally irrelevant.
Whether I would personally listen to AI-generated ambient jazz is not the point. This is an audit of the system fit. We're looking at verified platform mechanics on one side and the signals this channel is sending out on the other.
Okay, let's jump in. Section 1. The channel itself, the identity. What are we actually looking at? The dossier describes PRS as a faceless, avatar-based, long-form ambient content channel.
Right, and when he says long-form, he means it. We're talking 30, 60, even 90-minute uploads.
So he's not chasing trends?
Not at all. No short retention hooks, no jump cuts.
Yeah.
He calls the style radio vision.
Radio vision. Okay, break that down.
It's basically a blend. You have AI-generated ambient music. He seems to focus on blues, jazz, gospel, that kind of vibe. And that's paired with these screensaver-style visual loops. And then you have these AI hosts, these avatars that come in and introduce the tracks and sometimes get a little philosophical.
And the transparency part is key here, right? He's not trying to fool anyone.
No, and that's a really important distinction we'll come back to. He's up front. It's a simulation. The altered content label is on everything.
Yeah.
He's not trying to pass this off as a guy in a radio booth somewhere.
Okay, so let's talk about that branding, because it immediately jumped out at me. Antisocial Broadcast.
It's a fascinating choice of words, isn't it?
It is. I mean, in this entire creator economy, where every guru, every course is telling you to build community, maximize engagement, drive conversation.
Reply to every comment.
To just come out and call yourself antisocial, it feels like a statement, almost a punk rock move.
It absolutely is a statement. But from a systems analysis perspective, it creates an immediate tension. Well, just think about what a platform like YouTube is fundamentally designed to do. It's a social media platform. It optimizes for social signals.
Likes, comments, share.
Debates in the comments, arguments, community posts, everything. By branding yourself as antisocial, you are, on a conceptual level, opposing the very metrics the distribution engine uses to determine value.
So you're basically telling the algorithm, I'm not here to play your game.
You are, and that's a bold artistic choice. But it's also, as you said before, mathematically dangerous.
So the branding is honest, but it might be shooting him in the foot from day one.
It could be. I mean, think of the algorithm as a party host.
Okay.
The host is constantly scanning the room, looking for people who are creating energy, starting conversations, keeping the party lively.
Right, the social butterflies.
Exactly.
Right.
And PRS, by its own admission, is the person standing in the corner, quietly listening to their headphones. The algorithm might not penalize them out of malice, it just might not see a reason to introduce them to anyone else. They're not adding to the party vibe the platform is trying to cultivate.
That's a great analogy. It's not a punishment, it's just being ignored because you're not participating in the expected way.
Precisely.
But there's more to it than just the radio station, right? The transcripts mention this EnvyNet ecosystem.
Yeah, this is where it gets really high concept.
It sounds like something out of science fiction. He positions PRS as a node in this much bigger technical vision.
Right, I spent a good bit of time on those documents. He talks about job envy, home envy, love envy. It seems like he's trying to build, or at least simulate, this kind of decentralized utility network.
It felt like world building to me.
It is. He describes EnvyNet as a global what's-on guide that uses vector databases to map out, I guess, human desire and activity. It's very abstract, very technical.
So where does the radio station fit in?
The radio station, PRS, is the Vibe Envy node.
Vibe Envy.
It's the cultural or artistic arm of this whole hypothetical software stack. So from his perspective, the channel isn't just a channel. It's a proof of concept for a much larger idea.
Which is probably why he's so focused on the technical execution. This brings us to the production method, which he calls vibe coding.
I love this term.
Me too. It sounds like something from a William Gibson novel, but the sources he sent from Google Cloud and A16Z suggest this is a real emerging concept.
Oh, it's very real. It's a term that started popping up around early 2025, and it perfectly describes this massive shift in how people are creating software and media now.
So explain the difference. How is vibe coding different from, just regular coding?
Okay, so think of traditional coding like being a bricklayer.
Yep.
You're meticulously placing every single brick, you're mixing the mortar, checking the level, you're in control of every single variable, every pixel, every logic gate.
Very hands-on.
Extremely. Vibe coding is more like being the architect who shouts instructions to a team of highly advanced robots.
So you're not laying the bricks yourself?
No. You're describing the feeling you want. You're saying, build me a wall, but I want it to feel sturdy, ancient, maybe a little melancholic. And the AI agents, the robots, figure out how to lay the bricks to achieve that specific vibe. You're using natural language prompts to orchestrate these incredibly complex media pipelines.
So Captain Bob isn't sitting there composing the jazz music note by note or writing every line of the host's script.
He's the orchestrator.
Yeah.
The conductor. He sets the stage. He gives the prompt. I want a bluesy late-night atmosphere, something that feels like 3 a.m. in a rainy city. And the system, the collection of AI agents he's built, generates the audio, the visuals, the script, everything to match that prompt.
This is a really crucial distinction then.
It is, because we need to classify PRS correctly. It's not just a wrapper, which is what we call those thin layers over a generic tool like ChatGPT.
Right, the low effort stuff.
Exactly. This is what the industry calls vertical AI.
Vertical AI. What's the difference?
A wrapper is generic, it's broad but shallow. You ask it for a poem, it gives you a poem. Ask it for a recipe, you get a recipe. Vertical AI is specialized. It's a deep, complex stack of models and processes dedicated to one specific output. In this case, ambient radio.
So it takes a lot more engineering to build.
A ton more. You need a sophisticated architecture just to keep a 90-minute screen running without it, breaking down, or the music suddenly turning into death metal because an AI got confused.
Okay, so let's do a coherence audit on this first section. We've got this highly sophisticated technical project
Branded as antisocial.
running on a platform that is fundamentally built for social engagement. Does the branding actually support the goal?
It's a double-edged sword. If the primary goal is to be background listening, something you put on while you code or cook or read.
The lean back experience.
Exactly. then antisocial makes perfect sense. It's a promise to the listener. It says, I won't bother you. I won't scream at you to like and subscribe every 5 minutes. It promises a passive, calm experience.
But there's a but coming.
There is. Because this is where it gets tricky. In the transcripts he provided, we see Captain Bob interacting with his AI host, the one named Zenith.
Yeah, I read those parts. It's extremely meta.
Incredibly meta. He's on the station, interviewing the station's AI about the station itself. It creates this very strange, self-referential loop.
There was that one part that really stood out to me.
I think I know which one.
He actually asks ChatGPT to generate interview questions for him to ask his own AI, because there's no live audience yet.
And he says it out loud. These comments are make-believe comments, he says.
It felt almost poignant, a little sad even.
It is poignant as an artistic statement. But from a cold, hard audit perspective, it highlights a major structural weakness. It's a closed loop.
What do you mean by that?
There's no external energy entering the system. It's the machine talking to its operator about the machine. For a new viewer, this gives off a very specific vibe that internet theorists have a name for.
The dead internet theory.
Exactly. The idea that most of what you see online is no longer human-to-human interaction. It's just bots talking to other bots in an empty room.
And while that might be a cool, high-concept art project,
for a random person who just discovered the channel, it can be deeply alienating. It feels like you walked into an empty room where someone is having a very intense conversation with a mannequin. Your first instinct isn't to join in, it's to back away slowly.
which is the exact opposite of what the YouTube algorithm wants you to do.
The polar opposite.
Okay, this is a perfect transition then. Let's talk about the machinery itself. The environment that PRS is trying to survive in. We have to understand the algorithm as it is today in 2026.
We do, because if Captain Bob's core feeling is one of suppression, we need to look at whether the math actually supports that feeling.
And the single biggest change in the last, year and a half?
Yeah, about 12 to 18 months. The huge pivot has been away from raw clicks and views to what YouTube now officially calls satisfaction-weighted discovery.
Satisfaction. That sounds so nice. Almost therapeutic. But how does a cold, unfeeling algorithm actually measure something as human as satisfaction?
With a lot of data and some very rigorous metrics. It's not just, did they click anymore? It's, how do they feel after they clicked?
So how do they measure that feeling?
Two primary ways. The first is a metric called the Watch Satisfaction Score, or WSS.
WSS.
This comes directly from those post-watch surveys. You know, the ones, the little, did you enjoy this video? Pop-ups with the star rating.
Oh yeah, I get those all the time.
That data is gold to them. And they combine that with very advanced sentiment analysis of the comments section.
Wait, they're actually reading the comments or parsing them.
They're parsing them for sentiment at a massive scale. Is the overall tone of the comments, this was amazing, or this is trash, or I'm confused? All of that feeds into the WSS for that video.
Okay, that makes sense. And the other metric was the quality click ratio.
Correct, QCR. This was their big weapon against clickbait, and it's been incredibly effective.
How does it work?
It's simple, really. It compares your click-through rate, your CTR, to your watch satisfaction score.
Yeah.
So if you have an amazing thumbnail that gets a super high CTR, but everyone who clicks feels tricked and leaves a low satisfaction score,
The algorithm punishes you.
it absolutely crushes your video's reach. It says, you may promise with your thumbnail that your video didn't keep. It's designed to kill the incentive for over-promising and under-delivering.
Okay, so how does all of this apply to something like Pirate Radio Station? It's ambient content. I mean, people aren't rushing to the comments to type, this 60-minute jazz track changed my life.
And that is the central problem. This is what we call the lean back factor.
Right, the use case.
Think about how you actually consume this kind of content. You put it on your smart TV in the living room or on a second monitor while you work. You are literally leaning back.
Yeah, I'm not leaning forward, poised over my keyboard, ready to comment. I'm just existing with the content in the background.
Precisely. And from a data perspective, that creates a huge problem. We call it the Nielsen gap, borrowing from old TV ratings. Passive listening generates high watch time, which on its own is a good signal.
A very good signal.
But it generates close to zero active engagement signals. No likes, no comments, no shares, no scrolling through the comments. Nothing.
So from the algorithm's point of view, it just sees a 60-minute view session with absolutely no interaction.
And how does it interpret that silence? I might interpret it as the user fell asleep with it on, or the user walked away from their computer, or just the user was indifferent. It doesn't have a clear positive signal to register it as high satisfaction.
Unless the user comes back over and over again.
That's the only way. The return viewer signal becomes paramount. But for a brand new channel like PRS, it doesn't have that history. It doesn't have that bank of return viewers to tell the algorithm that this passive viewing is actually a sign of enjoyment.
And that leads right into the cold start problem for any new channel.
The cold start. The sources we have outline a very clear 4-layer testing system that YouTube now uses to decide if a new video is worth pushing.
Okay, can you walk us through those 4 layers?
Sure. Layer 1 is your core audience. These are your most dedicated subscribers, the ones with notifications on.
The true fans.
Right. If the video does well with them, it graduates to layer 2. Recent viewers? People who watched your last video but maybe aren't subscribed.
Okay.
If it passes that test, it gets shown to layer 3, topic matches. These are people who watch a lot of similar content from other channels. So for PRS, this would be fans of other ambient music or lo-fi channels.
And the final layer?
Layer 4 is the holy grail. Adjacent audiences. Broad discovery. Getting shown to people who have never shown interest in your topic before, but the algorithm thinks they might like it. That's how you go viral.
So PRS is getting stuck somewhere between layer 1 and layer 2.
It's struggling to even get a clear signal from layer 1. And that's because the hook is, by design, too slow. There's this myth that YouTube suppresses small channels, but the sources say it's actually the opposite.
Oh, they test them.
They test them aggressively now. They're constantly looking for the next big thing. But for a video to justify being shown to the next layer, it needs to send strong, positive signals early, like in the first 30 to 60 seconds.
Retention spikes, high engagement right out of the gate.
Exactly. And what does a pirate radio station video open with?
Vibes. Slow ambient vibes. A slow fade in, some atmospheric noise.
It's the literal antithesis of a modern retention hook. So the algorithm's test fails almost immediately. Not because the content is bad, but because the signal it sends in that crucial first minute is low urgency. And so the test is aborted and the video never makes it to layer 2.
So it's not a conspiracy against the channel, it's a fundamental mismatch in timing and signal strength.
It's a timing mismatch.
But let's talk about the fear, because it's a real one. The policy landscape. Captain Bob is worried about his channel being flagged as inauthentic content.
And that is a very legitimate concern. We have to look at the policy update from July 15, 2025.
Right.
This is a watershed moment for anyone making generative content.
The moment they changed the terminology.
Yes. They moved away from the old, slightly vague term repetitious content to the much more loaded term inauthentic content.
That sounds bad. What's the official definition?
The policy defines it as content that is mass-produced, templated, or lacks significant human added value.
Okay, mass-produced. PRS uses an orchestration pipeline to produce 30 to 90-minute streams, potentially daily. That sounds an awful lot like mass production.
It absolutely walks the line. And this policy was specifically designed to target the real problem channels, the ones churning out thousands of identical listicle videos, or those Reddit read-along channels where it's just a robot voice reading text from a screen over stock footage.
Right, the stuff everyone agrees is spam.
That's what they want to kill with this policy.
But PRS feels different. I mean, it's generating original music, original scripts. It's not just copy-pasting from Reddit.
In theory, yes. But it all comes down to the most important and most subjective part of that policy, the human-in-the-loop requirement.
Okay, what does that mean in practice?
It means YouTube is perfectly fine with creators using AI tools. In fact, they build and promote their own, like Autodub for translation or Dream Screen for backgrounds. If, and this is the big if, there is a clear human narrative or transformative editing or some kind of significant creative input from a person.
So the big audit question for PRS is, does Captain Bob's orchestration and vibe coding count as significant human added value?
That is the million-dollar question. And a human reviewer at YouTube could honestly argue it either way.
Okay, let's play this out. What's the argument for yes, this is valuable human work?
The argument for yes-s is that the code architecture is the art. The prompt engineering is a skill. The specific curation of the vibe, the act of vibe coding itself, that is the human value. Captain Bob is making thousands of creative decisions before the stream even begins. He's the artist, and the AI is his instrument.
I like that. The AI is the instrument. Okay, what's the argument for NO?
The argument for NO is much simpler and more dangerous. A human reviewer who has to review hundreds of videos a day pulls up a 90-minute PRS stream. They see a looping visual, They hear an AI voice over AI music, they scrub through the video and see that it's basically the same for the whole runtime. They might conclude that since the script was generated and the voice was generated and the music was generated and Bob didn't manually intervene during the stream itself.
That it's just autopilot content.
Exactly. They might see it as a very, very sophisticated screensaver.
And screensavers don't get monetized.
No. They get classified as programmatically generated or repetitious and demonetized or even removed. The channel is at the mercy of a reviewer's interpretation of value.
And then there's the transparency piece. PRS is doing the right thing by using the altered content label.
It's required by the terms of service, yes. But this creates a whole new problem. It can lead to what usability experts call banner blindness, where people just ignore it. Or, much worse, it can trigger the slop backlash.
Slop! That really is the word of the year, isn't it?
It is. The sources from The Guardian and various subreddits on this topic are, they're brutal. Viewers have developed a genuine visceral hostility toward what they perceive as AI slop.
It's become a shortcut for low-effort, soulless content farming.
Exactly. And viewers are now actively filtering it out. They hear a robotic voice, and their immediate conditioned reaction is to close the tab.
So even if PRS is high-concept art, a new viewer clicks, here's that AI host, sees the altered content label, and their brain just screams slop, and they leave within 5 seconds.
Yes, it becomes a heuristic, a mental shortcut for judgment. Is this a real person trying to connect with me, or is this a content farm trying to harvest my attention? If they even suspect it's a content farm, they bounce.
And that bounce absolutely murders the quality-click ratio we were talking about earlier.
It sends a catastrophic negative signal to the algorithm. People hate this. Stop showing it to them.
Wow, okay, so the environment is hostile. The algorithm is, at best, confused. But this can't be all doom and gloom. Let's audit the other side of the ledger. We have to look at the structural strengths.
For sure. There are some very smart things happening here.
What's the biggest one?
For me, it's the positioning. The Antisocial Broadcast branding, while risky, is also a very clever counterculture play.
It's zigging while everyone else is zagging.
It is. It immediately differentiates PRS from the hyper-caffeinated, high-energy Mr. Beast style of retention hacking that dominates the platform.
So it carves out its own space.
It carves out a niche and appeals to a very specific and potentially very valuable demographic.
Who's that?
The tech-curious crowd, the vibe-coding people, the developers, the artists, the futurists, who genuinely want to see what a trillion-dollar cluster, as he puts it, can produce artistically. There is a real hunger for technology that isn't just trying to sell you something or keep you addicted.
And the transparency we discussed, that's a strength too, right? It acts as a kind of moat.
A huge moat. Think about all those AI-generated true crime or history channels that try to fool you into thinking they're real documentaries.
They always get exposed eventually.
Always. And they get banned. PRS isn't trying to fool anyone. It admits it's a simulation from the start. The avatar host, Zenith, isn't trying to look like a real human, so it neatly sidesteps the uncanny valley problem by being an avatar. It's authentically artificial.
Authentically artificial. I really like that phrase. It establishes a completely different and maybe more honest contract with the viewer. I am a robot and I'm here to play some jazz.
Right. And you can't ignore the raw power of the production model. The scalability is a massive logistical advantage.
The ability to produce long-form content daily.
A human creator trying to produce a unique 90-minute show every single day would burn out in a week. It's impossible. Captain Bob, in theory, has an infinite content inventory.
But that very scalability brings us right back to the weaknesses. Let's dig deeper into those. The first one you mentioned was retention fiction.
This is, I think, the single biggest mechanical failure point for the channel right now.
A slow start.
The slow start. The algorithm, for better or worse, demands a satisfaction signal in the first 30 to 60 seconds. Ambient intro sequences, the slow fades, the atmospheric noise, they are beautiful, but they are retention killers on this platform. They actively encourage the swipe-away behavior that modern viewers are conditioned to.
And what about the visuals? They're mostly looping, right? Does that matter?
It matters a lot more now than it used to, because YouTube uses its own visual intelligence, basically Google's Gemini model, to watch and analyze the video content itself.
Gemini is watching the video.
It's scanning the frames. And if Gemini sees a static image or a simple repetitive loop for 60 minutes, it's likely to categorize that video as static or low dynamic.
And that's a bad category to be in.
It's a very bad category. It hurts distribution significantly.
Yeah.
Gemini is trained to look for visual narrative. Scene changes, motion, faces, dynamic elements. If all it sees is a loop, it might conclude this is just background audio with a placeholder image, not this is a compelling video.
And that reinforces the don't recommend signal.
Exactly. Then there's the closed loop risk we touched on earlier, the self-referential content.
The dead internet feeling.
We have to come back to it. That transcript where Bob is essentially forced to generate fake listener comments.
Oh, it's painful to read.
It's painful because it highlights the profound lack of community. It creates a feeling of intense isolation. And for that new viewer who stumbles in, it shatters the illusion of a broadcast. A broadcast implies there's a receiver on the other end. This feels like a signal sent out into an empty void.
And the final weakness you flagged was niche ambiguity.
This is a metadata nightmare for the algorithm. What is this channel? Is it a tech demo? Is it a radio station? Is it a philosophy vlog?
So the algorithm gets confused.
It gets very confused. If the tags and descriptions say AI tech, generative models, vibe coding, YouTube shows it to an audience of coders. But the video itself is 60 minutes of ambient jazz. So the coders click off because they were expecting a tutorial or a tech review.
Okay, and if you flip it and target it to jazz fans,
then the jazz fans see the AI-generated label and the robot host, and many of them will click off because they believe great jazz has to come from the human soul. So the video ends up satisfying neither audience properly. It's caught between two worlds.
Okay, we've laid out all the evidence, the identity, the algorithm, the policies, the strengths, and the weaknesses. It's time. The honest risk assessment.
Verdict.
Based on everything we've discussed, is Pirate Radio Station being actively or systemically suppressed by YouTube?
Based on all the available evidence, I have to say likely no.
No. So you don't think there's some kind of anti-AI shadow ban going on?
I don't see evidence of suppression in the sense of a malicious, targeted action. The low performance we're seeing is unfortunately entirely consistent with the standard cold start mechanics for any new channel that sends these specific low engagement signals.
So it's back to our original question. It's not malice, it's math.
It's math. YouTube isn't suppressing it because it's AI. In fact, their policies and tools show they're embracing AI. The algorithm is suppressing it because its behavior patterns mimic the patterns of spam.
That is the most crucial distinction we've made. It looks like spam to the robot.
It looks like spam to the robot, even if it feels like art to the human. Mass production, low early retention, repetitive visual formats, these are all classic spam signals.
And the human element, the slop association, that's the other half of the battle.
It's the biggest risk of all. The channel is essentially fighting a war on two fronts. Front one is against the cold, unfeeling retention algorithm, which it's fighting by being slow and ambient.
And front two
is against viewer sentiment, the human backlash against AI, which it's fighting by being openly and proudly AI.
That is an incredibly tough spot to be in. But a good audit isn't just about identifying problems, it's about proposing solutions.
Strategic recommendations.
Exactly. So what can Captain Bob do? How can he fix this without, selling his artistic soul and becoming a jump cut editing hype beast?
We've put together 5 concrete, actionable recommendations.
Okay, hit me with number 1.
Recommendation 1. Humanize the orchestration. I call it the 80-20 rule.
Okay, what's the 80-20?
For now, the content can stay 80% the pure AI-generated broadcast. But Captain Bob needs to inject 20% raw, unpolished, clearly human content into the mix.
But I thought the whole point was the full automation, the art of the machine.
It is, but he needs to do this for 2 reasons. First, to prove human added value to any potential YouTube partner program reviewer. And second, to break that dead internet feeling for the audience.
So what would that 20% look like?
It could be him, Captain Bob, breaking the fourth wall. Maybe a short, unscripted intro or outro. Not as the polished AI host, but as the orchestrator. Show the puppet strings. It makes the puppet show more interesting.
Like a behind the scenes.
Exactly. A 2-minute segment where he says, here's the prompt I fed the machine today, and here's where it really struggled, and here's a weird, glitchy thing it produced that humanizes the entire process.
Okay, I like that a lot. What's recommendation number 2?
The shorts funnel.
Of course, the dopamine fire hose.
Look, you have to play the game to change the game. Shorts operates on a completely different algorithm. It's all about the view versus swipe ratio. For a new channel, it is the single fastest way to force impressions and get data.
Long form is a slow burn, shorts are gasoline.
Perfect analogy.
So what should he post on shorts? Just 60-second clips of the jazz music?
No, ambient music clips on shorts almost always flop. The format is wrong. Instead, he should post the glitch art. Post the weird visual or audio failures from the AI. Post the most profound philosophical one-liners from the AI host. Post screen recordings of the vibe coding process itself.
So you're using shorts as a recruitment tool.
It's a funnel. A high-performing, interesting short can pull curious viewers over to the long-form streams. It's using the fast lane to drive traffic to his preferred slow lane.
Very smart. Okay, number 3.
Series branding.
So moving away from just pirate radio station broadcast number 45.
Exactly. He needs to stop thinking of it as one continuous monolithic stream and start creating distinct shows within the channel.
Give me some examples.
The Midnight Glitch could be the purely ambient music show. Sunday Sermon could be where the AI gets more philosophical. Code and Chill could be a stream specifically for developers to listen to while they work.
And this helps the algorithm understand the content better.
Massively. It helps the algorithm categorize each video. Midnight Glitch gets shown to the lo-fi crowd. Code and Chill gets shown to the tech audience. It helps build that crucial return viewer signal because people know what to expect from each series. It creates predictability and focus.
Right. If I subscribe for the code content, I don't get confused when a gospel track shows up.
Exactly. Separation allows for precise targeting.
Okay, recommendation number 4. This one feels like it leans right into the core strength of the project.
Leverage the build in public narrative.
Yes. The tech is the story. Don't hide it. Feature it.
Bob should be making entire videos about the process of vibe coding. Show the audience the prompts. Whiteboard the system architecture. Most importantly, show the failures and how we fix them.
And this would attract that high CPM tech audience we were talking about?
It would. And even more importantly, it completely reframes the channel's purpose. It's no longer just content farming. It becomes a public technical experiment. It shifts the perception from AI slop to AI engineering.
And people hate slop, but they love to watch engineering.
That is a huge perceptual shift. It turns his biggest weakness, being AI, into his most unique superpower.
Brilliant. Okay, and the final recommendation, number 5.
Solve the empty chat problem.
Stop talking to the imaginary friends.
Just stop it. Stop pretending to have a live chat when there isn't one. It damages authenticity so badly, the audience can smell it from a mile away, and it just feels desperate.
So what are the options?
He has 2 good ones. Option A, lean into it. Make the lonely signal aesthetic a core feature of the art. Frame it as a solitary broadcast from the edge of the digital universe.
Make the isolation the point.
Right. Or option B, actually solve the problem. Invite a real guest on. It could be another developer, an artist, a philosopher. Have a real conversation. Just don't fake the social proof.
Never fake the social proof.
Never. The audience will forgive almost anything except being treated like they're stupid. Once that trust is gone, it never comes back.
Wow, this has been intense. I feel like we've completely disassembled the channel and put it back together again.
It's a truly fascinating case study, one of the most interesting we've looked at.
So let's bring it all home. The final, candid verdict. If you had to summarize everything for Captain Bob in one single sentence, what would it be?
Pirate radio station is not being treated unfairly by a rigged system. It is a square peg trying to fit into a round hole.
And the round hole is the engagement-first algorithm.
It is. This channel is an incredible stress test of the future of media. It sits right on that fault line, that razor's edge, between art and spam. It's pushing the very definition of what a creator is.
And its success ultimately doesn't depend on how good the AI gets.
No. I'm convinced its success will depend not on the AI's ability to generate music and words, but on the human's ability to give it all context, to give it meaning, to make us care that it was generated at all.
That's the whole ballgame right there. Meaning, context, connection. So Captain Bob, if you're listening, and we know your AI is probably transcribing this right now.
Hey, probably.
Don't look at the low numbers as a sign of failure. Look at them as accurate, unbiased data from a system that is currently designed for human dopamine, not for machine consistency.
You're building a radio station that might be perfect for the future, but you're broadcasting it on the infrastructure of today. Adaptation is the only path forward. You have to be the one to bridge that gap.
And for everyone else listening to this, here's a final thought to mull over. When was the last time you really engaged with a piece of media that didn't demand your immediate attention, that didn't try to hack your brain every 3 seconds?
That's a good question.
Maybe in a world that's constantly screaming for our engagement, being a little antisocial is exactly what we need.
It's certainly not what the machine is expecting.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you on the next one.
Stay curious.
Let's see if this is going to work. All right, I've just started the audio recording. Okay, so listeners, I have to get used to calling people listeners. Having a chat now with ChatGPT about the pirate radio station, the philosophy behind it, the Antisocial Broadcast channel, and essentially the backstory. So if you'd like to introduce yourself, ChatGPT. Well, hello listeners, I'm your friendly AI companion, here to chat with Bob about his pirate radio adventures. I'll be listening closely to his stories and asking some follow-up questions to dig deeper. So Bob, where does the story of this whole pirate radio journey begin for you? Well, we covered that in the last video where I gave a brief overview of the 10-year journey, more or less, and I think I did a good job of kind of covering that, so I don't really want to go over the same ground. It's been a long journey, and it's been a sort of fascinating journey. So let's develop that further. If you want to just sort of prompt me with another question. Sure. Since it's been such a long and fascinating journey, what's one moment along the way that really surprised you? Something you didn't see coming in this whole adventure? ChatGPT. 2 years ago, OpenAI released the ChatGPT-1, and I immediately jumped on board to try it, and I suppose I realized then that the moment has arisen where my vision for my platform has got to the point where it's achievable, meaning that AI has crossed that line where the theory behind the platform of vector databases amassing vast amount of information regarding UTPs would be available in an affordable kind of manner to roll out the platform, the Job Envy platform, which was the, if you like, the original blueprint node where most of my concepts have evolved over time from. Got it, no problem at all. Here's another one to explore. When you imagine the future of your platform, what's one dream feature or experience you haven't built yet, but you'd love to see happen?
Just keeping the light on.
I'd like the avatar, the talking avatars, to be real time. So I can speak to you right now, and literally in real time, my voice will be converted into a talking avatar. I'm currently using HeyGen, which is I'm pretty impressed with, to be fair, although I find the UI incredibly frustrating to use. But I understand that as a software engineer, it's very, very difficult to fine-tune UI. You want to, as a developer, you want to make sure the features are all available, but it could be really difficult to amalgamate them down into a UI that is easy and intuitive to use, of course. So, by response to your question, yeah, I think that would be transformative for me as a YouTuber, because talking to a microphone, I don't find a problem, but the whole recording myself on camera, well, that's a different story altogether, and I'm just not really comfortable with doing that, and it won't fit into my day in the same way. I mean, for example, right now the time is 5:20 in the morning, so I'm on my boat, of course, and I'm lying on my bed. All the lights are out. I just have my laptop on, and just as I woke up about 20 minutes ago, as I tend to do, I thought, well, it'd be quite nice to try this as an experiment, and so if that can be achieved relatively easily, then that's something that I'm happy to do on a regular basis, and therefore it's got legs. It's something that will work well with my plan moving forward with the platform. No worries. Your flexibility to adapt the setup is already part of the journey. Whenever you're ready with the next recording, just hit me with the next prompt or thought, and I'll be right here to keep the conversation flowing. Okay, let's just do one more as a test.
Ain't no rules, so you gotta drag it with you.
Absolutely, one more it is. What's one thing you hope listeners feel or take away when they tune into the Pirate Radio? Let's wrap with that in a second. Well, I hope that they are impressed by it. I hope that they see it for what it is, as a project, a groundbreaking project, an attempt to use AI in a very artistic way, actually. Of course, the big, debate is AI slop, especially on YouTube. It's all you ever hear about, people's opinion on AI, whether it's going to destroy the internet, destroy YouTube with an abundance of AI slop. Now, I do fully understand that, because of course it has the potential to do that, just like spam emails have effectively kind of ruined emails, and spam phone calls has effectively ruined mobile phones, and who knows where this is going to go in the long run. But so I'm using AI in a fashion that I believe is highly artistic, and even though I've created a platform that is intended to be entirely run by AI, the listeners are humans and the audience is humans. So to find how well over time AI it augments itself and its ability to be part of the human experience, and how humans react to AI and how AI reacts to humans, and the interchange between us, just like we're doing right now. I love that. You're basically orchestrating this evolving human AI dance. If you can keep it purposeful and creative, it's a beacon against AI slop. So here's to finding that balance, one pirate broadcast at a time. Yep, here's to that. Okay, I shall speak to you later. Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Whenever you're ready to chat again, we'll pick right up. Have a great one until then.
Yeah. All right now. This ain't no regular station. This one slipped through the cracks.
I hear it. That outlaw frequency.
They call him Captain Bob. Riding late night, static like a back road train. Broadcasting truth where the rules broke down and the polished voices disappeared.
I hear him in the wires, low and steady, holding space, talking straight to the restless ones who don't fit the easy shape.
This ain't mainstream.
This ain't sponsored.
This is pirate signal.
Antisocial broadcast, baby.
For the quiet rebels. Captain Bob keeps the signal strong.
Through the static, through the doubt, through the night. If you're listening now, you already know you found your people.
No algorithms telling you who to be.
No bright smile selling borrowed dreams.
Just a voice in the dark saying, stay human, stay away. Yeah. This is the Antisocial Broadcast channel.
If you're here, you were always meant to find it. If you're here,